The next one will be, I believe, VP, and that is Rich Schaefer. I'm really usually not lost for words, but it is really a wonderful experience.
Thanks, Deborah. Next year, we're going to start organizing our pits a little bit better when we come in, guys. We will have available to you, before you get to the event, points will be updated on the website. We can send them to you in an email fashion 1 week before the event so you know where you're standing. We'll start parking just like NHRA did for a while. I don't know if we're currently doing it, but we'll start with number 1 spot and go down to the right with your current point standings. It'll be that way every week. And we want to keep them parked in the fashion we're doing out here where we have them lined up facing the crowd with the semis to the front. There'll be some changes at some venues, but that's going to be the pattern we're going to follow. Rule book will be available online and through email by January 1st at the latest. For the most part, we're looking at basic current industry standards right now. You're not going to see any dramatic changes. My main focus for 2008 is going to be driver safety. The construction of the trucks, I have to talk to our fabricators out there and get their input on it, but I think we're okay on the construction of the trucks except for driver safety. We're going to start beefing that up. We will give you some time to make some changes. For example, I want to look into the seats. We're not going to make a change on the seats for 2008, but we'll give you a window that by 2009, we're probably going to require a LaJoy or a Butler. We're going to look at head restraints for 2007. Those are the major changes that we're looking at right now. Garage parking will be open at Thursday morning at every venue. For those of you that are in town early, doing displays and PR appearances around town, we'll make arrangements for a holding lot on site. Most of the time, we'll be able to get into this area on Monday for those of you doing displays. If not, there'll be a holding tank somewhere outside the concourse area. Trucks, we want everybody on site by Thursday night at the latest. Because Friday morning, we're going to start tech at 10 a.m. As you guys can tell, I've had too much caffeine this weekend. So 10 a.m. Friday morning, we'll start with tech inspection. We are going to beef it up, guys. We're going to have a rule book, and we're going to start enforcing rules. If you're not legal, you go home, or you fix it on spot. We're going to be checking fuel. We're going to be checking blower overdrive. We're going to be checking weight. This is a real sport, and rules will be enforced, or you do not run. Other than that, guys, we'll talk with you later on. I'm going to get everybody's input before we publish the rule book. But for the most part, you're good with what you are except for driver safety. And I want everybody's input on what you feel our problem areas are going into this, because you see what we're doing with the tracks. We're going to have a target range of about 1,800 to 2,000 feet on average for our track lengths. This one out here is around 1,800. Vegas was 14. That's all I got.
My name is Dan Ballast, and I work with Kelly Goldman, and we've been promoting motorsport shows for about the last 10 years. And here's why I'm really excited about this. And I don't have to sell you guys on this particular product whatsoever, but this is a brand new product. I mean, we've been doing monster truck shows forever. We've been doing shows in domes and arenas, but nobody has really been doing them at speedways like this, or nobody successfully. I mean, if people had the formula on how to do this, they would be lining up, and these speedways would have an annual event, and nobody really has. So that's what the exciting thing about this series is. As far as the marketing, the book hasn't been written on that yet, and we're doing that right now. So we're going to try to have a lot of opportunities for individual teams to get involved. I want to say thank you to everybody who's been available for doing displays and for getting involved in these shows. And we're really going to try to not accentuate only the series, but the drivers in the series, and get everybody involved, because you guys, at the end, are pretty much going to be the backbone of what we're trying to do. So Kelly's going to be in touch with you. I'm going to be in touch with you. And, you know, down the road, we're going to be able to look back on this meeting right now and say, this was an amazing experience. I mean, it hasn't been done. People are looking at us saying, you know, it's a wait-and-see proposition. But the way that we have to do these shows is different than any other show that Kelly and I have promoted before, and it's exciting. And for the first couple of shows, you know, the feedback from all of the markets that we've been in so far, in the industry, in the marketing community, in the building community, have been overwhelming. I mean, just to give you an example on how we're going to approach this, and Mike has probably told the story too, but when we were in Memphis, we were looking in the crowd at the end of the day, we were talking to the general manager, and we said, how many of these people have bought a ticket to your previous events? You know, they do 40,000 people for their NHRA show. You know, these tracks do a consistent NASCAR show, truck show. And he looked in the crowd and said, you know what, I don't think one person has been to this track before. And so we said, wow, that's amazing. So if we can get those people to these shows who are monster truck fans, but also introduce this new product to these 40,000, 50,000, 60,000 people who buy tickets to these NASCAR shows and these other motorsport shows that these tracks pretty much offer tickets and they sell them, it's an amazing opportunity for all of us to grow this series and be a part of it. So I could let you know about TV, radio, print, but I'm not going to bore you with those details. What I'm saying is it's going to be a work in progress. We're going to ask everybody for your help. Interviews, displays. We'll probably develop some other programs that we'll introduce to you folks to get your name out there also. And I look forward to working with everybody, but I'm extremely excited. Again, as I told Joe, in 5 years, we're going to look back on this day, which is pretty amazing. I intend to do that with all of you. So I appreciate all your help, and we're all in this together.
We'd like to bring up next to talk about the sponsors for the MLMT series from Hobson and Associates for our national sales team. Tony Hobson.
Thanks, Jay. I'd like to echo Dan's comments as far as having this new opportunity. I've been involved with corporate sponsorships ranging a lot of different motorsports properties, NASCAR most recently, IRL, NOPI, a lot of different event series. And as Dan has found from the media and marketing community, I've found the same reaction to this whole concept that has been created here from the corporate community. We've been out for the last 3.5 months setting up meetings with large corporations, pitching the big trucks on the big tracks, and it's really an engaging message and something that the companies that we've been in front of have found is totally unique. We've had several companies that have been to basically at least four of our events and come continuously to each event. You guys have done the heavy lifting in terms of putting the show together. I mean, the show that these people have seen, and the corporate people, the corporate alliances that we've been in discussion with, have never seen this type of activity before. And so it truly is a credit to what you guys have done out in the field and producing just a stellar type of an event that these corporations are really looking at. Our goal is to have basically 2 very high-level presenter-level sponsors and at least 4 to 5 official sponsors. We're in the process of putting together a major contingency sponsorship program that will involve probably up to 20 to 25 different contingency players in the business. So you guys have, like I say, have done the heavy lifting. I mean, you put on a hell of a show. The 4 events, 5 events that we've been involved in have been very, very highly received as a totally new opportunity in the corporate community. And thanks for your support.